Happy Friday, everybody. I told you I would show up with some cloning techniques or a cloning technique from PicMonkey, and here I am. Just to avoid any confusion, some of you actually thought you might be seeing me in a video, and yeah, that's not going to happen. You're just going to hear my voice. So anyhow, I've already jumped onto PicMonkey, and I've brought up a photo that I thought would be easy to show you some cloning things in or on, just from my iPhoto library. So, if you're following along, you've brought up a photo, you're in PicMonkey, you're going to jump over to the effects bottle, which is that little chemistry bottle, and you'll pull up all the effects, and at the bottom is the clone button or option. So we're just going to click on that and bring up the brush that's associated with it. The one thing to remember when you're on the computer on a program like this, it's up to how fast your computer is or how the program is running to make anything work, as opposed to Lightroom or Photoshop where that's installed on your computer and that runs seamlessly, very smooth. And sometimes in PicMonkey, you can get stuck. It'll just kind of freeze up on you or just move really slow. So just something to be aware of. So you can see where my cursor is. I'm down here on the brush size, and the area that we're going to be working on, I'm in the black right now, so I can just show you more clearly that we're jumping up here to this white area where the screen is ripped. It's going to be hard probably sometimes because I think I'm going to lose my little guy here for you to see, so hopefully you can see it well enough. But anyhow, you can change your brush size, and we know, that we're jumping up here, so we've got a decent area to cover up. So all I'm doing, I guess the easiest way to explain is I'm on a Mac and I'm on a trackpad. So I'm using my right finger to move the cloning button around. And I'm going to lock it into place next to this area because this is what I want to clone out. So I'm locking it into place with the tap. And now with my left finger at the bottom left of my trackpad, so if you're on a mouse, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to, in order to control my brush, now I'm holding that down. And we're just going to go right over top of what we don't like. So I'm just picking up, obviously, what's to the side of what I'm painting over. So it's just completely cloning that area. And now we're going to just move over a little bit. Let's get rid of this. What happens sometimes is that you'll bring in something that you didn't want, and that's okay. You can always get rid of it. And you can stay here and you can keep moving this around, but if I like what I did, I like to go down and I like to apply it and pick up another clone brush, because sometimes, depending on what I'm working on, I don't want to lose what I've already worked on, and that can happen. So let's jump over here. So here I am again. Hopefully you can see me jump up into the white. This time I'm going to work on this side. So again, with my right finger, I'm just locking that guy into place, and now my paintbrush can come over, and with my left finger on the bottom left, I can control that, and I'm coming down, and same thing, I'm just picking up what's on that side of it in hopes of covering up those tears. Now, did I just bring in another tear? I did. That happens all the time, depending on the size of your brush and where you're at. But in the end, you can always cover up everything. I mean, you can bring in whatever you don't want. You can take out whatever you don't want. I mean, that's the fun part of cloning. So as you can see, I just keep locking that into place and moving my paintbrush over then where I want it. And I'm just going to keep doing that until all the little guys that I don't want are covered up. So you can, and with the paintbrush, you can actually paint in lines. You can just jump into spots and click over top of what you want to get rid of. So right now, the little locked in place is just staying right next to my paintbrush. So it's just picking up what's ever to the left of it. And you can see this pattern that's going through here? It's very exact because I've cloned the same thing over and over again. But we're going to fix that. But now with this locked in, I can come over here and I can still just click. Let's get that little line out of the way. Oh, these little rips right here, those aren't bothering me. We'll keep those there. But now we've got some stuff going on in here that I just want to soften up a little bit. So let's go ahead and apply what we did. And let's grab that clone brush again. Hopefully this will be our last time. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to go really big this time. And we're just going to, pick up some softness over here maybe. And let's just see what happens if we just kind of blend all that in. So it's getting there. I can see a couple other spots and I'm kind of like, same thing. I've cloned the same thing, over and over again, and I don't love it. So you can just keep, coming in, grabbing your brush, picking what size you want, going to a different area because maybe you want to lighten this up a little bit. You don't want this to look quite so dark. And just kind of fade in some areas. Like I said, it's easy to clone the same thing over and over again, and you don't want that. You want more of a blending effect. You don't want to see the same pattern that you've, painted with over and over again, if that makes sense. And then you apply it. So, if let's say I was really picky and I didn't want any of this darkness over here, I could go ahead and hit the clone button. I could jump up my brush size hugely. I could come over into here where it's lighter in color and say, you know what, that's what I want all the way over here. I just want to, bring in some of this softness. So you can do that. It's just going to clone, what you want to do, including the little tiny dots along like the seam of the shade itself, if you can see that. So let's say you like that. It's a little bit softer. Same thing, hit apply, and it's done. And in a photo, nobody's going to see what you've done. Anyhow, I've run way over time, and hopefully you understand cloning better. If you have any questions, give me a holler. And maybe next time, if you want to see something really difficult to remove, ask me, and we'll find something that's really hard, and we'll go that route. Thanks a bunch, and hope you have a great weekend.